Who cares? It's just liver, you know? Time to deliver this liver. No, to liver this liver. Long live liver. Hello, 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 all you crazy kids out there on the internet. It is me, Joe, aka Not Junk Food, aka the guy that has a whole plate of chicken livers right here. And I know what you're thinking. Ew, gross, chicken livers, that's But you know what? Look, they're right in front of you. They're not that bad. They kind of look like, you know, little livers. So, you know, we're gonna do our best today to make these the most delicious dang thing on earth. And I think it's really important to use all of the pieces of the animals if you're going to consume animals. And if you don't think that these are the most delicious thing on earth when blended with all of these other things, then you got another thing coming. So I'm gonna do kind of my own little spin on a chicken liver pate today. I've got a handful of ingredients here. I'm gonna show them to you real quick and talk about why I'm using them, blah, blah, blah. So, lemon juice, brighten her up. We've got a tablespoon and a half of this. I'm gonna use half of this red onion. I'm going to use 1 piece of this large shallot here. I've got some beautiful, beautiful sprigs of thyme here. 4 tablespoons of salted butter. Now, I've got a handful of peppercorns here. So I've got red peppercorns, green peppercorns, and white peppercorns. I want this to be super peppery, but kind of cover all the bases and all the kind of sectors of pepper. So these are kind of all super unique in their own ways, but I think they're gonna blend to make the ultimate pepper pate. And then another defining feature of all this is this, Pommeau. Pommeau is a apple brandy that is then diluted with cider to kind of cut the alcohol down. It's pretty sweet. I was thinking about using an apple in this recipe, but I decided against it just because this has so much sugar in it. I wouldn't say it's overbearing, but it has a good sweetness to it that'll add a bunch to this dish. And then last but not least, the piece de resistance, this heavy whipping cream. It'll bring it all together. So let's sit here together and not be afraid of these crazy looking things. Now the whole idea of this series is to kind of introduce people to these less used parts. I'm calling it odds and ends, and it's just gonna be an exploration of using these things and showing people that they can be truly, truly delicious. Let's get into it. And we're off. This is a beautiful little lemon here. You just cut that baby in half. Now we're gonna get about 2 tablespoons out of this one side here, but we only need the tablespoon and a half, so we'll be good. Now you need to cut this red onion with a really obnoxious knife. Take your garbage bowl, throw your garbage in it. If you don't have a garbage bowl, don't be a garbage person, you garbage person. Let's chop this up. Now we have our shallot, same kind of thing. These are all gonna get blended, so I'm not super worried about consistency. Now we have our chicken livers. Ooh, We're gonna take these and take out any dark spots, any veins, any bloody spots, just to clean them up. Then I'm rinsing them off and putting them in a paper towel to dry off just a bit. Turn our flame onto medium high. We're gonna take half our butter, that's 2 tablespoons. Melt that down, and we're going to throw our shallots and onion in there. Gonna let this go for about 5 minutes, get things acquainted. Then we'll deglaze with our tablespoon and a half of lemon juice. And then I'm going to put that in the blender to wait for the rest of the ingredients. Now, medium-high heat again, same pan, rest of the butter, and then the chicken livers. Now we'll be cooking these for about 3 minutes or until just kind of browned on the outside and still pink on the inside. Then I'm going to take it off the heat and set it aside. Now we're going to take our thyme
and pluck all those leaves off those stems. Now we have our white peppercorns, 3 of those, green peppercorns, 3 of those, and red peppercorns, 3 of those. Bash and smash and crash those babies. Now we'll take those chicken livers that we set aside and put them on medium-high heat, as well as adding that half cup of heavy whipping cream. I'm going to let these simmer, and then I'm going to add the thyme and peppercorns. Once this is kind of reduced a bit, gotten a little bubbly, gotten a little thicker, I'm going to add our Pommeau. Then reduce again. Once it kind of looks like this, I'm just going to add it into the blender with the rest of the onions as well as the shallot. At first here, I'm going to start pulsing, and then once things are a little more incorporated, I will speed it on up. If you have anything on the sides, kick it down and bring it back up to get it silky smooth. Now I'm splitting these in 2 ramekins, and then they can just go in the fridge with some plastic wrap. Make sure that the plastic wrap is actually touching the surface and kind of compressed. We don't want any air touching, so they won't oxidize. These will keep in the fridge for about 3 to 5 days, but I doubt they'll last that long. Now, that wasn't so hard, was it? And look at this beautiful spread. We have our tri-colored peppercorn Pommeau pâté. We have some beautiful, beautiful sourdough I baked up this morning. And you know what? I'm just gonna sit here and enjoy it all by myself. You don't really need friends when you have Pommeau pâté with tri-colored peppercorns. I mean, what else? Try not to make too many chewing noises for you. This is amazing. It's got this really, really silky texture. First thing that's hitting me is this really, really delicious, bright, sweet apple. And then all the fat kind of just calms that down, whisks you away into this peppery, herby, thymy, silky, delicious world of pâté. I mean, if you have a nice bread, I mean, this is just outstanding. Please make this recipe. Don't be afraid of liver. There's no reason to be. It's your best friend. You might as well take it home, hang out with it, introduce it to your parents. If you saw this and thought, hey, chicken liver might not be so bad, then please do me a huge favor and hit that like, obliterate that subscribe. You know, these things help me out, and I can just keep supplying these weird, cool dishes for you at home to enjoy. Thank you so much for joining me, and now I'm going to be alone with my chicken liver pâté. And you know, maybe share it with somebody that I find somewhere. I might have a roommate around here, so thanks for joining me. Cheers, I'll see you next time.